Welcome to another Inside the Brain at McBride Art Studio. So, today we're going to tackle drawing from the imagination. Now, not just drawing anything, not just a tree or a mountain or a seascape, but drawing a new character or a creature that has never been seen before. Now, since I was a little kid, that's been my entire pursuit, is just to get onto the page something that no one's ever seen before. This is really fun and very exciting to do because it's very self-affirming, and it's just really neat to kind of show someone and they're like, whoa, that's really terrifying, or that's so cute, you know? So it's something that's difficult to do and doesn't come without fear and apprehension. But what I hope to do over the next few minutes here is kind of let you inside the mind and show you some of the tricks I've learned along the way to take a lot of that fear out of the process and help you just jump right into that flow state of, making something that is really fun for you and everyone else. So first thing I did to just get the creative juices flowing was just took the dogs out for a walk, and while I was out there I was trying to think of different animals I could put together, and so I thought of grasshopper, raven, and a shark as well. And I thought that a fun challenge would be to sort of pull anatomy from each of these and sort of see if we can come up with something altogether new that's never been done. And so right here you can see the process is that I try to draw the animal first from a reference photo. So I pulled these up on Google, and then the idea is not to get a perfect drawing, but just a representation of each character and the feature that you're wanting to pull into your work. So don't treat this too carefully or perfectly. This is just for you to get the pencil moving, maybe even just to warm up. And then right here, I start my first rough assembly of the character, and still not taking it too seriously. You can see I'm adding the wings from the raven, the snout, if you will, from the shark. Then I threw that up in the corner after I did that first sketch. Or if you're on paper, just set that paper aside and grab a new sheet. Now, still take this really loosely. You can see right here I'm also searching for the background composition, which we'll call a bonus to this video, because not only will I take the character to full completion, but I'll also put it in its setting, and I'll talk a bit about that as I do that. So right here you can see I've established the sketch. I feel confident about all the shapes and everything. And so at this point, now I can go in with, if you're on paper, say a nice pen, and start doing a nice outline. And in this outline, it's really to define the silhouette, the edges and the anatomy. Also find that character expression. While I was sort of riffing around, and all of this doing it without thinking too much, I really wanted to take these kind of scary looking creatures, but make it kind of like this happy-go-lucky critter out of all of them. And so now I've laid in the flat colors, and I do this even if I'm painting on a canvas. I'll just kind of lay out the colors to get an idea of range. Obviously, if you're on an iPad like I am, you can mess around a lot more, and so I advise you to check out some apps. There's some for free and some that are very cheap. I use Procreate, and absolute beginner can start messing around like I am here. At this point, now I'm taking the character to kind of the nth degree and really kind of showing how you can make it more believable by setting it into the environment. So right now I'm putting in the shadows. If you are doing it through this app, Procreate, or any drawing app, you can always make layers and sort of kind of mess around on the layer above the last thing you drew, and then so that way you're never messing up your old drawing. You're just kind of building on top of it. But also, if you're doing this with paint or anything like that, take it with that sort of looseness, because if you're working, say, with acrylic paint, you have 3 minutes where it'll dry, and then you can play again in that area. Now you can see me kind of going in and doing some final tweaks. I'm just really letting my imagination go. I wanted to really show you that you don't need to have the whole kind of concept in mind at the outset. I'm changing colors here. I'm kind of finding last minute sort of inspirations. Now I'm really going in and putting in all that ambient light sort of popping off of him or her. And I'm, tweaking the overall composition at this point and really trying to just bring it to the end. And along this journey, I'm thinking, well, it needs a focal point, right? Like, what's he looking at? And so I'm also getting to that. But before, I thought he needs some sort of patterns and texture, some rendering, because right now it looks too smooth. So I thought, ooh, what if we take like a cheetah print and sort of overlay it on his mantis-like shell? And so then I took it onto the wings here, you can see as well. And so, all of these different inspirations are just creatures we all know and love, and I'm just taking and piecing them together in a new way. I went blue because, who sees blue critters? Here's me putting in the final pops. I'm about to pull in a picture of a space shuttle and just cut it out right from that in this instance, just because. And, hopefully watching this video gave you a little bit of insight as to how I approached it in a fearless sense, a sort of not looking backwards and allowing it to evolve and change, and also how much sketching I did in the beginning from those original references. That's going to help you a lot. So just jump into it, be loose. All in all, to get to pre-color, it took me maybe an hour, and I had a new character right there. So enjoy, and until next time.